Okay. So,
She's young.
yes.
I know, I just have to keep reminding myself that I'm like, she's young. She's not an adult yet.
All right. So, as of right now, then there's no music playing that's intentional. Um,
Okay.
as of right now, you are currently sitting in what feels like a cave, and it's kind of misty in there right now. You can't really
Mm-hmm.
make out any details of the room, and you're not even entirely sure why you're here right now. You just feel weirdly alone.
Okay. So I'm guessing it's like pitch black.
Not there's little light coming from above you. There's like cracks in the cave, so you're underground
Can
clearly, but it's not like too deep from the surface, and there's clearly sunlight coming through.
can I feel my way around the cave, like in the walls and stuff, to see if like there's anything in here?
Okay,
I wanna
give me an investigation. Also, a
investigation.
good time for me to make sure the dice roll is working.
We're gonna find out.
Mm-hmm. All right. So,
Wait, it says advantage though.
for now, don't do that.
Okay.
So the way I'm going to run this, since it's in the past on your character
Mm-hmm.
sheet, first of all, reduce your max health to 20.
Oh, okay. That would have been nice.
Yeah, I just now remembered that I was going to do that. So we're going to kind of simulate you being a
Okay,
lower level
so
without actually
20.
lowering the level on the sheet. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And for all of your rolls, any hit DC you make will have a -2, particularly with your daggers, and the damage will be
Okay.
-1 for whatever the rolls end up being.
So -1 and -2.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So you start feeling your way around the cave, and for what you can tell, there's maybe like one semi-largish boulder that you were able to sit on, but other than that, you're mostly just feeling like some loose grass and stone around you, and it's otherwise pretty flat. But as you progress a little bit further through this kind of misty, foggy cave, you do see lights in a distance. They kind of look like torches, and they look a little far away. I'd say, based on your current perception, maybe about 200 feet away.
Okay. I would like to crouch down
Okay.
as I kind of like peer. You know what? I will actually crawl, like get on my stomach and crawl, get lowest to the ground that I can,
Okay.
and then kind of like just make my way so I can kind of see above where the entrance is, just to kind of see like
So
what's going
you
on.
actually can't see where the entrance to this cave is. You don't even remember how
Just
you got
I
here.
will crawl towards.
The light.
Then I will freaking yes.
Okay.
I don't know what I'm doing. Okay,
No,
shut up.
that's okay. That's okay. It's actually it's kind of meant to be disorienting, so you're fine.
Okay, well then there we go.
All right. So you start crawling towards the what appears to be torches. Like you can clearly tell that it's fire because of the way it's moving and not staying
Yeah.
stagnant. So you start crawling towards this, and as you do get a little bit closer, I'd say at this point you move maybe 30 feet closer to it. You don't
Okay.
feel like you're making progress, but you've definitely moved. Like the bottom of the cave and the stone that you're crawling on, the shape of it is shifting enough for you to be able to tell that you are actually moving. It just seems like you're not making any progress. But as you do crawl closer towards these torches, you hear a sound of faint, kind of deep grumbling, kind of like whispering towards you. But nothing distinct. You can't really make it out, but it does seem to be coming from those torches.
Oh, the growling is coming from the
More
torches?
like a grumbling, not so much a growling.
I mean, I'm like yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, something kind of like that. Not as
Good,
comical, but yes.
good description.
But it sounds like it's
Anywho,
trying to whisper something to you, but you can't make it out yet.
um, I will very slowly keep moving forward, trying not to like make any sound so I can possibly hear more.
Give me a stealth check.
Boop. Oh, it's almost a nat 20.
All right, so in this case, you're actually stealthing against yourself because you're trying to be able to hear and not have your own, noises take away your hearing, and you're doing a good job at
Mm-hmm.
that. So you're able to inch forward and even move a little bit faster because of that. And as you get closer to the torches, I'd say you've moved another 30 feet easily.
Yeah.
So you're now a a little over 100 feet away from it, give or take. And the only thing you hear now is that same grumbling and whispering, but the only word you're able to make out is your name, as if it's beckoning to you.
Huh. I will stand all the way up and start to move quicker,
Okay.
like towards where I feel like I'm supposed to be headed.
Okay. So you get closer to it, and once you actually make it within, like, close enough to these torches, you can see now that there is a doorway that they are attached to. So, because you've made it through enough of the mist to actually be able to make out details.
Yeah.
And pretty much as soon as you're able to make out that detail, you feel kind of like a gust of wind come from it, as if that's where the outside's at. But it's a sudden gust of wind. It's not like just a breeze.
Is this a normal door?
It's just kind of like,
what does
arched.
This door look like?
Is
there anything on the door? Is there a handle?
Let me rephrase it. It's not.
I am very suspicious of just doors.
Let me rephrase it. It's not even
the last time I opened a fucking door, I almost got exploded.
Oh yeah, that was funny.
That's my point. That's why I asked.
Okay, so let me rephrase it though. It's not actually a door. It's just a doorway. So,
it's an archway.
An open archway.
It's an arch. Okay, that makes no sense. I was gonna be like,
that's what I meant. I should have said that. So, but yeah, it is an open archway, and the only detail you're able to make is that it clearly goes straight through and then kind of turns off. So, all you see behind the archway is just more rock, more cave.
So it's just more cave. There's not like sky or anything.
As far as you can tell, but the way it immediately turns off, that it could be anything behind that door.
Okay. Okay, let me ask this. Does my person, do I have like my weapons on me, or is it just me?
I would say as of right now, since you just checked yourself, you do in fact have your weapons on you. You have 2 daggers. They're just normal daggers.
Yeah. Okay. Then if that is the case, then I just have put one of my hands on my hip for one of my daggers, just to be ready, just in case, as I cautiously go around the corner.
Okay. So as you approach the doorway,
quietly, I'll just be like, "Am I?"
Okay.
I don't know if that picked up or not.
I think you said like, "Where am I?" Right?
Yes.
Okay. As you approach the doorway, you see a flash of an image of a woman standing in it that quickly comes and then goes. It's quick, but you recognize that as your mother. And as soon as it was there, it is now gone. And when it goes away, the wind kicks up through that hole again.
Uh-huh.
And then you hear the voice speak one more time. Still can't quite make it out, but all you hear is dragon. That's the only word you're able to make out, but it spoke, I'd say, about a 6 or 7 word string.
And then something dragon.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be kind of thrown back from seeing my mom, and I'm gonna kind of grit my teeth a little bit and then keep moving forward more.
As you step into the archway of the door, the torches go out, and what was a turnoff into that cave is now shut. It seems like this archway led to nowhere. So the only way left for you to go now is back.
She is going to get frustrated by this. Raixora will be very frustrated. As she's kind of felt stuck her entire life, in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
And she will kind of have a very low hushed growl come through her teeth as she turns around and is scanning everywhere for another way to go.
As soon as you turn around, what was a lit cave now is pitch black. However, in the distance, you see what looks like 2 orange lights once again. However, this time they are not moving and they are not fire. And in front of them, you see a person standing there, and their essence almost seems to be glowing a little bit, almost like spectral. Do you get closer?
Yeah, I will cautiously go forward. Like, I won't have, like, a grip on my dagger anymore, but my hand is still hovering.
Okay. Alright, so you approach this person standing there, and it is that same woman, your mother, facing the other way.
Okay, then I'm going to reach out and be like, Mom?
She turns around to face you, and you hear her speak, and she says, "Everything is going to be okay. You're strong, and you will find your way." And upon her saying that, those lights in the distance seem to move closer to you. And it is at this point you realize that this silhouette within the dark has inched closer towards you, and it is now close enough for you to make out details that this is the head of a dragon. And you wake up.
Okay. Just casual. Okay.
Okay. So you have now...
As I wake, I will probably shout, like, out my mom's name and stuff. Almost in a panic.
Mm-hmm. So you wake up in your kind of, we'll call it a den, right? Where you tend to stay. And as of right now, you are actually staying within the Split Pass woods. This is kind of where you
Split
migrated.
Pass?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you wake up to find that everything is normal and however you've left it. Your daggers are intact, and your den is otherwise undisturbed.
Mm-hmm.
And all you have around you is mostly, like, things that you've collected for, like, survival. So, you know, clothing, and you've...
Essentials, kind of. Like
essentials,
stuff, like
yeah.
food and...
And you tend to go towards the, like, towns whenever you need stuff, but for the most part, you've stayed here within the woods.
Gotcha.
And generally, the only time you see people or other things is when they're passing through. So, you've mostly been by yourself.
Yeah, I've been more recluse.
Mm-hmm. Also, I should note, at this point, you don't have your Blood Hunter stuff yet. So, on your character sheet, ignore the Blood Hunter stuff.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
It doesn't exist. Who knows?
Oh, weird. I don't know.
That's crazy. Nothing writing anyway.
Crazy. I don't know what any of this stuff says. Oh, weird. What are these scales doing here? No. I'm sorry. I like to have fun.
It's fine. But yeah, upon waking up, you realize what had woke you up was the sound of horses and carts riding very close to your place.
Oh, okay. So then what I will be doing then... What are my athletics are freaking dope. Sweet.
My athletics are dope.
Well, they are, I couldn't remember. But my dexterity's at 20, so I'm like, okay, cool. That's really good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to climb up and try and stay out of sight.
Okay.
For now, as these travelers or this caravan is going through.
All right, you're pretty much able to do this quite easily because they're all distracted with like talking and sorting through their stuff, but they're riding by at a very like slow trot. They're not going quick at all.
Okay.
And I'd say there is around 20 something people there, and there's a mixture of humans. There's some dwarves, there's a couple elves, and even a dragonborn with them.
Okay.
So it's a pretty colorful group of people, as it were. And
Gotcha.
as they're trotting by, the thing you overhear, you don't overhear necessarily specifics, but you do determine that they are merchants. And they're traveling through to try and earn stuff, sell stuff, barter, of all sorts. So nothing specific.
Okay. She's kind of thinking to herself at this point that it might be kind of helpful. Like, what are her supplies looking like currently then?
I would say she has pretty much all the
Like
basics.
what I need?
She has basic survival stuff, but I'd say she's been alone for a little while, so gear is definitely wear and tear, and maybe getting low on like food supplies or things of that nature. So she could use stuff for sure.
Gotcha. I was gonna say, I'm like, well, if that's the case, then she is going to hop down out of the tree, and with her being her adolescent self, she is going to slowly make her way out to the caravan.
Okay. And they're walking at a slow enough speed that you can just walk beside them.
Mm-hmm.
So you get close to them, and while you do initially spook them, they quickly like put their guard down, and the guy at the front is a human man. He doesn't give you a name or anything. He just says, "Hello there. How are you doing today?"
Human man.
Human man. He's a human man.
That should just be straight up his name. My name is
My
Human
name
Man.
is Human Man.
I'd be like, is that really your real name?
And he just nods, blinks one eye at a time.
Raixora kind of scratches her head and she's just like, that's unfortunate. But that isn't my point. By any chance, do you guys have any armor, or what kind of wares do you have in your caravan?
Oh, we've definitely got all kinds of stuff. This front cart here is mostly food, and they've got about 4 carts.
Mm-hmm.
The front cart's food, the second cart's like smithy stuff, the third cart is bits and bobs, miscellaneous. We don't know what's in the third cart. Or rather, we didn't put specific things in the third cart, I should say. And the fourth cart is currently empty.
Empty?
As in, it's just people riding in it.
I see. Out of curiosity, can I look in that third cart?
Sure.
Okay. Raixora will kind of happily go along over to the third cart and start searching.
He gestures for the caravan to stop. He's like, "Got a customer!" And when he yells that, they all kind of like, almost in sync, make the caravan stop, but they kind of still bump into each other and start getting a little rowdy. But the dude at the third cart, he steps off while they're all kind of like fussing about and going, and like, "Hey, fuck you, no, fuck you!" Stuff like that.
I getcha.
Guy at the third cart
like
is
they're
just
all
like,
annoyed with each other that they
100%.
Gotcha.
Guy at the third car jumps off the driver's seat and he's like, "Okay, come on in." And then he opens a double doors on the wagon so you can see what's inside.
By the way, if it ever gets old that I do kind of like my summary dialogue thing, please tell me. I have a habit of doing that.
No, I'm okay with it.
And sometimes people don't mind. Okay, some people don't mind, some people do.
Nah,
That's
it's fine. And if it helps you stay in character and keep your things together, it doesn't bother me.
No,
whatsoever.
that's just part of being neurodivergent.
Well, I mean, hey, like if it
real,
bothered,
that's just being neurodivergent.
Hey, if it bothered me, I'd tell you. Okay, how about that?
Okay, that works. Cool.
So,
because I've been doing that a lot more recently. Okay, anyway,
you're
going
totally
to the third
fine.
cart. Going to the third cart.
All right. So he opens it, and the dude at the front was right. There's just a bunch of random shit in here. There's some plates, there's some bowls, there's a chest plate of armor, but no like helmet, no legs. There's a sword that looks like it's not really a full sword, but it still kind of looks like a sword.
It's scrap metal.
Possibly, yeah. And there's some jewelry. There is some rocks that look kind of funny.
I like rocks. No.
I like rocks.
She just says that out loud. I like rocks.
I like some rocks.
But no. So for this chest plate and stuff, would it fit me, or was that too big?
So from what you're sitting, you can't really tell, but the guy sees you eyeing it, so he sifts through all the crap and pulls it out, and it's a little too big. But you could smith it down.
No, she needs to be more nimble and stuff.
Okay.
But for now, she'll just kind of,
He's like, do you want it for scrap metal? 2 gold.
No, I'm
1
okay,
gold.
but...
Gold.
I have money.
I'd say you have about 15 gold.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure because
Yeah.
I'm younger.
But he's clearly just trying to get rid of it. But he still wants something for it.
Raixora kind of backs up a little bit, and she's like, I'm okay, but thank you.
He goes, all right, and then throws it back in.
Glad I didn't buy that. Okay.
However, when he throws it back in, the pile kind of shifts, and something does catch your eye for a second. You see an ornate-looking dagger in there.
Raixora kind of eyes it, and she's like, what is that? And she just points at it.
Guy looks at it, he's like, oh yeah, we found this in a cave a few days ago. He kind of sifts through the stuff again to try and not knock it over, but he pulls out this bluish, kind of ornate-looking dagger. It's got a cross guard on it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the blade itself goes thicker out, so it kind of goes like this. It widens and then closes off.
Basically, it's the dagger in my PFP.
It is, yeah.
You can just say that.
I know, but I'm trying to be descriptive for people who don't. Because I'm still recording it. I'm going to post it for the people who watch it later.
By the way, the map isn't showing. I don't know if it's supposed to.
That's intentional. I don't have a map for you at the moment.
Okay. Okay, cool.
But however, you can open the map on D&D Beyond.
I did.
Okay, so you already. oh yeah, that's right. You changed your color. Okay, so just that's where you're at, more or less.
Okay.
Anyway.
So if that's the case, I look at this dagger and everything. I'm like, this is interesting.
It's actually in good quality too.
I tap it with one of my nails and stuff just to kind of like get a gist on what it's made out of. Mm-hmm. Can I tell? It
seems to be of some kind of steel or other mixed alloys, but otherwise it's a fine make. It's actually good quality, and you don't think it should have been in this cart. It should have been in the smithy cart.
Raixora just kind of smiles a little bit and just feels like she looks at it and just flips it a little bit, catches it, and she's like, "How much is this?"
The guy takes it back and he's like, He sniffs it, flicks it.
He sniffs it.
And he goes, 45 gold.
45?
Yes.
In this cart, where everything's just being tossed around.
Does this look like it's been damaged at all, though? And as he's doing that, no, it doesn't.
Raixora kind of gets a little tiffed at that. And, says, well, I don't have that kind of gold either. So, he has a dagger right now, doesn't he? That's what I thought. She was gonna toss it back into the cart if that was the case, but she doesn't. She goes, well, I can't afford this, so I apologize. And, she will move on to the next cart.
Okay. The guy actually gets ready to toss it back in, but then he stops and looks at it, and he's like, he actually like gently puts it in there. Because he's like, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't break that one. So you go to the next cart, which is the smithy cart. And this one actually has like smith materials. So there's actually like iron bars, steel bars, like hammers, and there's actually an anvil in there.
Well, considering that I'm only 15 years old, I don't really have any smithing expertise at all. If anything, I would probably just flatten out the iron bars and make nothing of them. So she'll just kind of gaze past it and just keep walking.
Okay. There are like sheaths and stuff for weapons and that don't actually have weapons for them. So, and there's also a set of leather armor in there.
Ooh. Okay. You have my attention now. I will stop, do a double take, and then go back to that cart and eye the leather armor. Because I would imagine I'm just kind of in like tattered cloths right now.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. And she looks at it more, and she looks at the merchant and be like, "Is this for sale?"
It is. And he pulls it out and he's like, I believe we were pricing this at 20 gold. However, and he looks at it a little bit more and he's like, I think I'd get rid of it for 10.
Deal. Wait, actually, before I even say deal, hold on. I didn't even see if this stupid thing fit me or not. I just buy it and it's like extra large or whatever.
You're just walking around with like an extra baggy t-shirt on, basically. Then it fit.
This little teenager, this little tiny petite little elf dragon thing just walking around.
Before you put it on, it does at first seem a little big, but the guy shows you that it's actually adjustable and
I see.
You can make it. Yeah, you can make it fit to your actual size.
Oh, okay. And she will take out the 10, right?
Yeah.
Okay, she'll take out the 10 gold and she'll kind of hesitate for a split second just because it takes a bit for her to get gold because of her being so secluded and everything. But at the same time, she needs better armor, so she'll give it to him. Anyways, be like, thank you.
All right. He takes the gold and he does a quick count and then he puts it in a little second. He's like, all right, here you go. And then he's holding it up for someone like above him to grab it. No one grabs it. And he's like, the hell? And he looks up there and because he was expecting someone to be above him. God damn it! Where did Rogier go again? And the dudes on the front of his wagon turn around. They're like, stupid fucking kid. And then they start looking around because they're clearly missing somebody now. Can
I help you?
Oh. What is it, dog?
Do you want water?
Oh.
Hold on.
Okay, I'll just pause it for a second.
No tail wagging or anything, just
eyeballs of death.
peering into my damn soul, dude.
Okay.
Okay.
So everyone kind of starts
Roger.
looking around.
Dave Roger?
Rogier. So little flare at the end of there. The flare, yeah. But yeah, no. So they're looking around. They're not like getting frantic or panicked or anything. They're more annoyed. And you get the impression.
It's Leviosa, not Leviosa.
No, Leviosa.
I'm sorry.
You get the impression that this happens a lot.
Rogier?
Yeah.
Rogier? Rogier or Rogier?
Rogier. So. Yes.
So Rogier.
Rogier.
The second one.
Yes.
Okay.
That one. The one you just
butcher
did.
That
one.
So.
The one that you just did.
Okay. So, she kind of looks around and she doesn't really think much of it. I mean, it's just a caravan to her at this point. And, she looks at the other sheath and everything from the dagger and stuff. And she asks him as well, how much is that one?
That one's a pretty simple make. I'll give it for 2 gold.
Do you have another one?
He searches around and he finds one that's pretty much identical. So, yeah. Okay, both for 3.
Okay. And she'll give for both of her daggers because she needs better holsters for both of them as well. And she'll turn them over.
Okay. He puts the money in the bag and then holds his arm up again and there's like, God damn it.
And then last but not least, she'll thank him, just kind of give him a little bit of a nod, And oh, hello. Windows EXP rebooted.
Oh.
No, straight up, I'm serious. But so then she will go to the last cart.
Okay. So the last cart was mostly like food and stuff like that. So general goods, there's breads, there's like vegetables and things of that nature. And a little bit and some meats.
Ooh. She'll take a look at the meat.
Okay. So the meat it's beef from what you can tell. Pretty much all of it's beef.
Okay. And she'll actually pass on it just because due to the fact that she can get it herself just in the wild by her own.
That makes sense.
So, she will wave at them all and say thank you so much, raising her arm up high and just being like, thank you.
Okay.
Like, I can't yell or do my normal voice acting because Mavis is asleep above me.
Understandable. But so, you do that, and the guy in the front waves back. He's like, thank you very much. If you need anything else, we're going to be holed up in Split Pass Village for a few days. And then he looks over and he's like, also, yes. There's Split Pass Woods and then there's Split Pass Village. And he looks over. Okay. Also, if you see a kid running around with long black hair and a tan vest on, tell him Raveleth said to get the fuck back here.
Raveleth?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. She just kind of nods.
Okay.
And gently smiles at him. And just, yeah.
He just kind of gives a gentle wave back and says thank you again, and then they start trotting along once again.
She will watch them disappear off into the distance and slowly make her way back to where her cave is just to kind of recuperate and get everything together.
Okay. So you start heading back towards your den, and as you start taking the path, you get caught off guard because you now hear growling in the bushes and the trees near you.
Actual growling.
Actual growling. This is not like.
Okay.
So I'm gonna move your token. Say you're about here.
Grumble.
You hear grumble, grumble. No, you hear actual growling. Only for it to, for you to realize you are now, surrounded by wolves.
Shit.
They start circling you to close you in.
Mm-hmm. I will draw out one of my daggers and ready to fight them.
Okay. This one right here, the one I'm moving at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, also, I need to do this now. Okay.
Good job.
Yes. Now I'm ready to have the map open. The reason I didn't was because those stuff were hidden there and I didn't want you to see them.
That's fair.
So,
hey, I hardly ever look there anyways.
Okay, good. So this one took a step closer. The rest of them are just making sure you can't run.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as that happens, you hear a voice, and you hear him say, "You seem like you're in a bit of a bind." And you look up and you see this kid sitting in this fucking tree. Which is...
It first showed up as just the branches, and I'm just like, okay, it's a bush.
That bush is talking to me. What the fuck?
It's like that one part in Baldur's Gate where, what is it? The bush or the tree is like, hello.
Oh, yeah.
Hello there.
Or are you thinking about Elden Ring?
Straight up, it was just... it was, god damn it.
Yeah.
It was Elden Ring.
You walk by a talking bush.
It was straight up just branches. Yeah, it was straight up just branches. That's why I was like, huh? Okay.
Yeah, you hear him and you look up and he's sitting up in the tree, sitting on a branch, and he's just kind of laughing at you.
He's old.
Yeah.
Raixora won't like that. And she kind of grits her just I don't know about a bind, but I mean, a little bit of help would be nice. Unless if you're the one who's up to these stupid wolves anyways.
I don't know. He's like, I don't know. They look kind of wild to me.
No. Really? Are all wolves freaking wild? And is it possible that she can attack the wolf in front of her?
Go ahead and roll initiative.
Okay. 24.
Shit, I forgot to add the... Oh, no, actually, cool. It stayed there. Okay, good.
Oh, did it? Okay.
Yeah, perfect. Okay. Alright. I'm just doing this to make sure they actually stay in order.
Bark.
I kind of wish the thing showed up at the top for me, too. But it doesn't.
It doesn't
stays
show
on the
at
sidebar.
the top?
Not on the top. It stays on the sidebar for me. But
That sucks.
that's okay. All right. So yeah, since you're first, go ahead and roll hit. And you're hitting
Cool
Wolf
beans.
A.
Yeah.
Okay.
That could have been better.
Did not hit.
I was gonna say I can deja vu again. Do I roll again for the second dagger or no?
If you're doing two-handed fighting, then yes, but that removes your bonus action, which you don't have many right now. So yeah. So yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say I don't have shit. Oh, that would hit.
That one hits. So roll your damage, and the damage for the second hit just applies without its bonus. In this case, I'll just apply full damage. So 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
What is my AC since I'm a young'un?
Whatever it is, minus 2.
Okay, so 15.
15. Okay. All right. That's the end of your turn.
Mhm.
All right. So it's actually his turn next because he rolled a 14.
Wait. Ooh.
Do you want to move? Oh, you move. Oh, yeah, you're melee,
No.
so you had to. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
He kind of
Okay.
giggles. He's like, "Well, I suppose I could come and help you." So he hops down and pulls out a scimitar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he takes a sweeping swipe. Okay, he hit. Ooh. He hit for 8. I can't find that thingy. Okay, so this wolf right here, the first one in front of you, ain't looking too hot.
Okay, well that's a good sign.
And for his bonus action, he actually has a dagger in his left hand that you didn't see. So he's gonna roll again. That one is a 7, so that misses. That one swipes right across the wolf's face, and he wasn't holding it in a ready position, so he wasn't even... That's why he missed. And he's like, haha! Oh, shit.
Resorbal kind of chuckles.
However,
I don't know
he
if
did...
I'm the one who needs to be helped.
He did fuck that thing up, though. It's bleeding pretty bad. However, it is now that wolf's turn.
She'll still laugh.
She'll still laugh. Okay, so that wolf is going
She's
to...
a teenager. She's a cocky teenager. What do you expect?
Of course, exactly. So he's going to try to bite you.
Okay.
Oh, shit. I
Yeah.
thought that was a nat 20 for a second, but it wasn't. All right. You take 3 damage.
Trace damage. I don't know how to say damage in Spanish. Okay.
Okay. And it's actually going to try to back up, which does provoke opportunity for you and him.
Okay, so opportunity of attack. How does that work with duel?
Just roll 1 hit.
Okay. That's a nat 1.
So you try to swipe at it with your dagger, and it slips out of your hand and lands in the tree trunk next to Rogier.
I like scratched his freaking cheek or whatever.
And he's looking at you and he's like, "And you said I was bad."
You're changing your accent.
Shut up. I don't care. I've never been consistent. I'm never going to deal with it.
You should be.
No, I'm not a voice actor.
Okay.
Oh, I forgot to hit next on that. Okay, Wolf B is gonna go bark, 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 and try to bite you again. Oh!
Yeah, that hits.
3 more.
Am I gonna die to the fucking wolves? I don't even get to... Dude, I will cry. With how much of work I've been putting into that fucking model, I will cry if I don't at least get to session 1.
Alright, Wolf C.
So pissed.
Wolf C is gonna go bark, 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 bark to bite Roger, which, however, him running by you does provoke opportunity.
Bunk. Oh my god, that was almost another nat one.
Oh! The hits, though.
I freaking hope so.
Damn. So, negative
so
2,
I
7.
hit its spine.
Yeah. Yeah, you got a really good swipe on that as it ran by, and it tries to bite Roger.
Tuck and roll, little boy. I don't know.
It hit him in. They're nailing those 3s, let me tell you what.
I know, what is that, the third 3 in a row?
That's the third
Yeah.
3 in a row. Alright, and Wolf D is also going to try to bite Roger.
It's the Wolf's Angels numbers.
If this one rolls a 3, I'm going to lose my shit. Okay, that hits. Okay.
Okay.
That's
still one more, so I don't know if we want that much
that one actually gets a pretty good nip on his arm. And he's like, oh, fuck! And
Rizzo will look at him and be like, do you need help?
He just kind of gives you a glare like, no. Also, that did 11.
Man.
Alright, it's your turn.
Oh, it's my turn.
Yeah.
I will attack Wolf B again.
Wolf A is the one you attacked, but Wolf B is the one that's on you.
I will attack Wolf B since it's on tough.
Okay.
That should hit.
Oh, definitely.
That was shit.
Wolf B takes 4.
Yeah, I go for its face.
Okay. You slashed his cheek pretty good.
13?
Hit.
7.
Okay.
And then I go for its leg.
Alright, so you actually were able to, like, take enough out of its leg that it can't stand on it anymore.
Okay, so it's like prone.
Pretty much, yeah. Well, it's not prone, but it's like limping, which means its movement will be impaired.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Okay, is that the end of your turn?
Yeah.
Alright, so Roger has a reaction to being flanked.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, so his reaction to being flanked is a spinning slash with the scimitar. This is 17, that definitely hits.
Huh.
So D and C are both getting hit for 9 damage. And, okay, so D gets fucked up, C dies. So D gets a nice slash across its side, and C gets its throat slit. And after that he's like getting ready to like basically like fencing stab Wolf D, but he doesn't follow up, and that's the end of his turn for now. So it is Wolf A. Wolf A, not looking too good, tries to limp to bite you. However, its attack is going to be with disadvantage because it is not good.
No.
That is a miss. It goes and just doesn't do anything.
I just kind of stepped to the side a little bit.
Wolf B also not looking good. Tries to take a bite at you and also will roll with disadvantage in this case. I think you're 15, right? Yeah, so that does hit.
Yes.
Okay, so that one hits for 4 damage.
Oh. Okay.
And after that, when it tries to step back on its foot again, it goes. and yeah, it yips. Wolf D. Damn, they're actually all pretty fucking bad looking now that I look at it. Wolf D, disadvantage, tries to bite Raixora. Did I roll?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that misses. Okay.
It's 11.
That misses. So Wolf D goes to nip at him and misses completely. It is now your turn.
Okay. I'm gonna go for a nat 20.
Hot damn. Okay, which one are you hitting?
8.
It's dead.
Okay, then I'm going to shove the dagger through its forehead.
All right, right in the. Just, hey, look, it's Ganon from Wind Waker.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. That is a pretty good description of it. And then I know this might provoke an attack of opportunity, but I would like my other dagger back. And I will walk over to pick up the dagger that was got lodged into the tree.
It does provoke opportunity, but I'm still going to roll with disadvantage due to its condition. Holy shit.
Hit.
Holy shit.
Okay. I'm in danger.
Ow! Alright, it is. Your turn's done, right?
He got me pretty bad.
Okay.
He got me pretty damn
Roger's
bad.
gonna look at you and be like, you don't look like you're doing great.
I'll be honest. I'm not. But we'll manage.
He gives this cocky grin. He's like, I've got this. He steps in between the two wolves and does another spinning strike. That almost fucking missed.
Imagine they both miss and then
Swing.
the two wolves me.
Swing, and then they're both just still looking at him. He's like,
me. Oh.
It literally rolled their AC. I was like, okay, because of his bonus
a little
damage.
Too close for comfort.
Yeah, because of his bonus damage, they both die no matter what.
Nice.
Okay. So Roger does a spinning swipe and just cleaves them both down. Pretty much. What seems somewhat effortlessly, but he's clearly like, woo. Okay, let me
And
this for a second.
I'm going to probably fall to like a sitting position just out of pure exhaustion because I have 2 fucking HP. Why does this keep happening to me?
Well, I was about to say, you do keep having a lot of close calls. And he's like, So anyway, what I was trying to do was give you something, as you seem to be eyeballing it, but you know what? Perhaps I should give you something else. And he whips out a potion and gives it to you.
She will hesitate looking at it at first, wondering if it's like an actual potion or whatnot, but she's desperate at this point where she doesn't think twice and just takes it.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of potion is it?
It's a potion of greater healing, so it was the one that's D8s, I think.
How many?
I think it's...
Greater? Here, let me look it up.
I want to say it's 4d8s plus something.
Manage. Greater.
Yeah, it's the greater one. Whatever that one is.
Bitch? Where is it? Potion. Potion of flame, potions, liberating fires attack. No! Fine, I'll look it up on Google. Potion. 44 plus 4.
Okay, yeah, do that.
Undo trois cut. And then, so 15.
Okay.
So I'm at 17.
Good. So you take the potion and
That's
you're
cool.
you're definitely feeling better. And he kind of crouches down and kind of looks you over and he's like, "Are you an elf?"
Am I an elf?
Yeah.
Well,
You have the pointed ears, but...
just kind of poison on her. She just kind of pulls on her ears a little bit. I don't know. I mean,
Oh, I'm sorry,
are
but...
there other creatures that have the points? Like,
halflings. Anyway, most
not this slender most of the time. Do I have horns or no?
Yes.
Okay, I wasn't
why
sure. I'm
he
like,
is-
do I have the full?
And he's
I'm
like, most elves I've ever met don't usually have the horns.
it's a long story.
Sounds like an interesting one.
Wasn't really my choice. She's trying to think of a way how to explain the fact that when mommy and daddy.
It's like, yes, my hair color is black. It wasn't really my choice either.
And
But I gotta
looks
live
at
with
me
it.
like,
I'm an outcast
Yeah.
for it. So
an outcast for having black hair.
no, not at all. I don't think you understand sarcasm.
She just kind of cracks her neck a little bit, trying to like stretch and recuperate as she stands up and everything. And she's like, yeah, I do have pointed ears. I do have horns as well. My mom was an elf, and my dad, pretty sure he might have been partially a dragon. I don't know, maybe dragonborn, but I don't know much about my dad. He left when I was very little. I don't remember anything about him.
I suppose that is a common tale. Sorry to hear it, though.
Quite. It's okay. Honestly, with a dad who just abandons their daughter without even telling them anything, it might be for the better.
My parents died when I was about 5, and I've been on my own mostly ever since. A few different homes here and there, but nowhere really permanent.
At least you have company. She smiles like a genuine smile going towards referring to the caravan. It seems like you have good company.
They are a rowdy bunch, aren't they? No, actually, I was born at the Lindor.
The Lindor?
Yes. I was born in the Elven City.
It's been quite a while since I've been over there.
I met
I don't
these.
typically travel unless if I absolutely need to.
So you live out here then?
Hmm.
Interesting. How long have you been out here?
She kind of pauses, trying to think back to how long she's been here, and since she can't really remember, she's like, as long as I can remember, honestly. So, my whole life?
I guess it's safe to say survival has been a challenge for you, considering these wolves almost stripped you apart.
She doesn't like that.
He just kind of grins again, like.
And she's like, normally I'm fine on my own. And she crouches down towards one of the wolves, starting to skin them and everything. Once again, it's just all I know.
That is very
and
interesting.
they just happened to get a little lucky this time.
Well, while I'm out here, I suppose I can help you. And he pulls out that dagger you were looking out.
My eye directly darts over to the dagger. She doesn't say anything because she doesn't want to come across as if she's like begging for it or whatever.
I'm actually going to roll his perception to see if he notices you looking at it. Oh yeah, he notices. So he pulls it out and
No,
it was like a 14. But
how would you fight it? I can't remember. What do you fight against that?
You wouldn't fight against the perception necessarily, unless you were trying to hide what you were
Or
doing.
what goes
I
against the
suppose.
perception?
Nothing
No,
specifically.
she did look at it pretty. Nah, I don't think she would really be hiding it. So no, continue.
He looks at you looking at it, and he's like, "That's right, you were eyeballing this over at the caravan."
She looks away.
He's like, "Okay." And then he starts skinning one of the wolves with it, and it seems to cut really clean.
I'm guessing I saw that.
Oh, yeah.
She just goes damn underneath her breath and just keeps going away at it.
So he skins the wolf pelts, but he gives them to you. He doesn't take them.
Why don't you take them? You could sell them with your caravan.
Oh, I'm not really worried about money. That's mostly their prerogative.
You gotta have money to survive.
Oh, I get plenty of money from them, whether they like it or not.
Stealing.
Redistributing.
Stealing.
Giving to those of lesser wealth.
She just kind of scratches her head a little bit, and she almost steps towards where her den is, but stops. And then she puts them on this tree stump a little bit just to put them aside and continue to, like, what do they call it? Like, when they section off meat? I don't know what it's called. Butcher?
Oh, yeah, butchering, pretty much.
Sure, I'm gonna butcher
there's a word for it, but I don't remember what it...
I know there is, but I can't think of it off the top of my head either.
Yeah. Okay. He's actually
And
just cleaning off his dagger and his sword.
Her
at this
knives
point.
are a little more. Mm-hmm. And, like, you can hear the knife, like, tearing through section, because she's had these knives forever.
Mm-hmm.
And
are these not the new ones?
It does the work. It just takes a little more effort.
Okay. So these are not the new ones then?
I didn't buy.
Oh wait, no, never mind. Yeah, you didn't buy decks. You bought the sheets. Never mind. My bad.
Yeah, I bought the sheaths. Mm-hmm. It's okay.
Okay, but yeah, and he's just kind of looking at him like, I think you need to sharpen those.
She kind of grits her teeth and she's like, don't know how. Don't have enough money. And she kind of grunts while she keeps sectioning off.
He crouches down, takes that dagger he had, and he flips it around so that the handle is now facing towards you. He's handing it to you. He's like, I'll tell you what. I'll let you borrow this until I can go get a flintstone, and then I'll show you how to sharpen them.
What do you want in return?
Oh, nothing. You're just borrowing it.
Yeah, but as you experienced yourself, she looks at him because he got bit a little bit himself. These woods aren't very friendly.
Well, that's what I have this for. And then he kind of puts his hand on his scimitar.
Fair enough. And she takes the dagger and starts to cleanly glide the blade through the different joints and separating the joints and whatnot.
He bandages his arm up a little bit, and he's like, besides, this is just the addition to many. And he actually readjusts his collar, and you can see there's a giant gash going down his, like, from like where his collarbone is towards his shoulder, but you can't see where it goes from there.
Her eyes narrow, and then stops immediately. So since she knows like the basic practices of like staring and stuff like that,
right.
She tries not to, but shiny weapon.
Shiny weapon.
What happened to you?
And he's like, I think this one was a kobold.
She's like, they can be nasty.
They can be little cunts.
Little slimy salamanders.
And he's just like, they can be little cunts. That's for sure.
That's one way to put it. I've had my fair share of them too.
I'd imagine. I'm gonna head over to Split Pass Village. Would you like to come along?
Sure, just give me a minute. And she'll wrap the meat within and the skins of the animals and stuff, almost like making them like a bag or sorts, and then she says, just wait here for a while.
Very well. He takes out his scimitar and starts sharpening it.
And she will go into the woods and go to her den.
Okay. I'll just leave the map open as it is for now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I have
so
no idea where it is.
we'll say it's this way.
Okay.
He sits on the stump and he just waits.
Mm-hmm.
So he's just there sharpening his scimitar. And one thing you noticed when he pulled it out is that there were some golden runes etched into the blade near the handle.
What, his?
On his scimitar, yeah. On the actual blade
Okay.
itself, near the handle, there was about 3 golden runes etched into it.
How do you spell runes?
R-U-N-E-S.
R-U-N-E-S or
yeah.
R-U-I?
R-U-N. So, R-U-N-E-S.
Okay. This pen is shit.
Pen's shit!
I don't like it when they don't work. This one's brand new! Fuck you!
I was about to say, just do it aggressively and see if it starts writing, because sometimes it works.
No, it feels scratchy.
Oh. Oh, yeah.
I swear to... There. Okay.
There, now I'm happy.
Sorry, I like it when my pens are smooth. If they're scratchy on paper, I don't want anything to do with them. They can die for all I care.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so on that note, would I recognize those runes at all?
No, you weren't.
guessing-
Even if you did, you weren't able to really get a clear look at them. You just saw that they were there.
Yeah, okay. So on that note, she'll go back to her den, put everything back away and whatnot. And I would like to investigate this dagger more.
Okay. So I'm just since you don't since it's right there in your face, I'm not gonna make you roll anything for this. You're able to see that it is pretty ornate in its appearance, and there does appear to be some kind of etching in it, but it doesn't seem to form any wording or anything like that that you can make out. But it does seem
I don't
deliberate.
recognize.
Yeah, it does seem deliberate, like it was done intentionally. Other than that, the handle is pretty basic. It has a cross guard on it, which most daggers don't. That's something you would see more on a longsword or something. It's not a massive cross guard, but it is there.
It's a cross guard.
Mm-hmm.
So then what I'll do is that I will take one of the sheaths that I bought, and I will wrap it around my arm and put the dagger there.
Okay. So yeah, you
And
form fit
then
it
I will
onto your arm
head-
and... Okay. Are you heading back?
It's not a gun!
I was wondering if you were going to say, I did that to see if you would comment on it. I know, right? Anyway,
I walk back over to Rogier.
Rogier.
And,
oh, that. Speaking of, he's like, oh, by the way, my name's Rogier.
Roger.
If you must, you can just call me Raj.
Thank you.
She goes,
Appreciate
thank you.
Well, Raj, my name is Raixora. You can either call me Zora or Ray.
Interesting name. He takes one more. He's
What
looking
of
at
it?
his blade one more time, and he's kind of inspecting the edge of it. And he's like, "I think I'm good to go." And he tosses it in his sheath, so to split pass, as it were.
Sure. Lead the way. Actually, I can go there too, but hey.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not racing you, though.
Would you like to?
No.
Come on, it'd be fun.
I just got mauled by wolves. I have, like, a bunch of freaking scars. I'm tired.
Understandable. Okay, we'll go. We'll walk normally. And then he starts pretending to sprint, and he's like, he's clearly
she
messing
goes in
with
a
you.
full-blown sprint. She goes in a full-blown sprint.
And he's just like, right. And he starts sprinting too. All right, roll me an athletics.
Okay. Fitting.
All right. Ooh, okay. So, you guys make it to Split Pass Village, and the winner was you. So you come
I've never
sprinting in.
lost a race yet in all of my campaigns. I've never lost a race.
So you and him come sprinting in,
Whether it be a damn...
and you're both now pretty much out of breath. Just the wheezing and everything. He's good.
And she just kind of, she's like,
he just sees it and he just kind of laughs at it. He's like, that's not bad. You are very fast.
She cracks her back and she's like, you have to be in order to live.
So he actually, you notice he kneels down and tightens his shoes. He's like, probably should have did that first. But, and he starts looking around. He's like, oh, did
By
I
the way,
get...
Raixora's not wearing any shoes. She's like, well,
I kind of figured.
you'll
I
never have to
didn't
deal
even
with
think to ask though, but yeah, that makes sense. He's looking around.
Yeah,
he's like, oh
she's
no, I beat my caravan here. How's that possible?
What do you mean?
The people I was with should have been here already, but I guess I ran faster than them. But
Raixora stops and she... Did we pass them?
I mean, we were going pretty fast, and they were going very slow.
But we would have seen them.
Not if we ran through the woods like we did. They were taking the paths.
That's true.
And at this point, he turns around and you turn around with him, and you can see the caravan coming down the path behind you guys.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just like, oh, I guess it pays to be on foot sometimes.
I could teach you a lot about being on foot. She has like this little grin on her face because she knows this place like the back of her hand.
Yeah. He's like, I bet you could. Well, anyway, so he's looking at you, he's like, I just noticed the armor you're wearing was from our caravan, wasn't it?
Uh-huh.
Who sold it to you? Do you know? It was Raveleth, by the way.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Okay. I wasn't sure if you remembered.
Believe it or not, I was gonna say bailiff, but I'm like, that's not right.
The-
We're not in court.
No. Bailiff?
Remove this hooligan.
Cease!
Can you imagine just this big dude comes walking up? But, Raveleth
Okay.
did. Why?
How much did he charge you?
10?
Oh, that's not that bad then. Pretty sure he said he was going to try to sell it for 30.
He said he was gonna give me a discount, but he didn't say how much.
He must have given you a
So-
big discount. He tried to sell it to like 5 people. Nobody wanted it. So he kept going
Yeah.
down.
I mean, it's better than what I was wearing.
He's like, it's actually not bad, to be honest. I didn't poke or prod it or anything, but I checked it when we threw it in there, and it's okay. Of course, Raveleth wouldn't know his ass from the end of an apple, but, you know, that's not really the point.
Could be worse.
That's right, you could be Raveleth.
Yeah, he's looking for you.
Oh, I'm aware. He comes in as he says, as you say that, the caravan is not close enough, and Brother is like, Roger, you twisty little fuck, where'd you go? And he just like shakes a coin purse and he was like, I was doing more searching. And then when he shakes the coin purse, Raveleth checks his waist and it's gone. The one you gave him.
Yeah.
And then Roger tosses it up to him. He's like, gotta watch yourself more, stupid. you can tell at this point that he fits in with these idiots really well.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So they all kind of pull through and they sit up near what here you see as McGruber's farm. So these wagons and stuff that I put there, that's all theirs.
Okay. So I'm guessing we walked with them.
Yeah.
I would imagine.
Yeah. He says, so you said you're part elf and part possibly dragonborn. Do you know where you were born, by any chance?
Hold on.
Okay. Cease.
Oh, good to know.
You good?
There's gonna be protests in our city tomorrow.
Oh, lovely.
Could you say that one more time?
Do you happen to know where you were born?
Raixora just kind of stops and thinks for a little bit, and she's like, she shakes her head.
That's a shame. Well, if it makes you feel any better, I know that the western lands here and are typically more welcoming. Have you
I'm
been?
very curious. You seem very interested in my person, just in general.
Well,
Do you know anything about dragons or elves or dragonborn?
more elves than dragons. I know a little bit about dragons, but mostly their tendencies. I've never actually been near one, thankfully.
I mean, I noticed you guys have a dragonborn in your group.
We do. His name is Frankfurt. We all kind of just call him Fart, though. And he hates it.
Frank.
Yeah, it's Frankfurt, but they call him Fart.
She's gonna call him Frank.
Uh-huh.
I'm just like, she's gonna call him Frank.
So, and at it's at that point you notice that the Dragonborn rolls up and he's like, I fucking hate this kid.
And Raixora she will unfortunately stare because she doesn't see Dragonborns very often.
Mm-hmm. He doesn't really pay any mind to it.
Does she notice like any big differentials, like to her horns or to the scale differences?
So first of all, he is a green Dragonborn.
Yeah, she's okay. She's just a teenager.
He's a green Dragonborn. He has horns, but they're more like multiple small horns rather than larger protruding ones. And he does have a tail. He doesn't have wings or anything like that. And he's actually wearing kind of like a duster coat with like fur on it. And when he passes by you, you notice that he's got a massive battle axe on his back.
Gotcha. She looks at the battle axe and everything. She's like, "Yeah, I couldn't carry that."
Roll me an investigation.
Investigation. I can't remember. Do you want me to do the advantage or no?
No, not for now.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Okay.
13.
Upon looking at the battle axe, you notice that while pretty much battle axes traditionally have this shape, the crescent in this axe is a lot more prominent than usual.
Raixora just kind of looks at the axe and everything because she likes weapons. She just does. And she goes to be like, "Where did you fancy that?"
You're asking him directly?
Yeah.
He's like, Oh, the axe. This was made for me.
It was made for you.
Yes. It was made by a dwarf.
Who made it?
One of the dwarves of Obsidius made it for me.
Obsidius? That's a long ways away.
Oh, we've been a long ways. They made it
Where
for
are you guys from?
I'm originally from Vinland Gore. But I couldn't live there due to the war taking place. So I ran, and eventually I ran into them.
Do I know about the war?
Yes.
Okay.
You are very aware that it is going on.
Gotcha.
It's pretty well known that the bandits of Vinland Gore are the main cause of it.
Gotcha.
And so, that's when I traveled to Lindor and then eventually Obsidius, where I ran into these folk. They were traveling with a charter ship based out of Cathardus. But I won a combat trial with the dwarves, so they made me this axe. And the crescent shape is, it's part of a service for the Crescent Lands, I suppose.
Interesting. She almost reaches out to touch it, but she stops, reminding herself to kind of have more manners and stuff. And then she'll just kind of look around at the rest of the troop, just kind of like tilting her head, trying to see who else is in the group and whatnot.
Okay. Also, at this point, I would say that you guys have traveled a lot and done a lot of stuff. It is now dark. So.
Gotcha.
As you're looking around, one thing you notice is when he turns to walk away from you and the moonlight hits the blade on the axe, runes glow on it.
Do I notice?
You definitely notice that.
Do I know what kind of runes?
Not, roll me an investigation.
15.
Okay, so you can see, like, you can't read them specifically, but you can tell that they're elven.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, can I not? Do I not know Elven?
I suppose you wouldn't.
Because I have Common, Draconic, and Halfling. I can't read Elven.
No, you don't know Elven. You wouldn't, and you wouldn't, based on the way you were born. And
that's true.
it was a bug.
Okay.
Yeah, no. So you wouldn't know Elven.
Weird. Yeah, so I can't read it.
Okay. So you notice that the runes trace the entire crescent of the blade.
Her eyes kind of glimmer because she is just utterly fascinated right now. She wants to touch those runes so freaking bad.
So he's kind of
it's
walking
like
away.
taking everything in her body to not reach out and touch the axe.
Roll me a con save.
Yeah. Oh no. That's 6.
You reach and touch the runes on the blade.
Okay, she's like tracing her fingertips over the runes.
So first thing you notice when you're feeling it is you can feel the indent of the actual like runes themselves, like as if they were
the etching of them and stuff.
Which is weird because they were not there until the moon shone on them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so there was no etching there until the moonlight hit them. And the other thing you notice is that it is also a little warm to the touch.
Warm?
Mm-hmm. Also, I need to roll a perception for Roger. Okay, I was going to see if he noticed you doing this at all, because he's kind of also talking to other people. And he definitely noticed. The Dragonborn doesn't notice because he's talking to someone else facing the other way, and it's on his back, so you're just like... Ugh. Being a little fucking creeper over here.
I can't help it. It's just who she is.
And as you're
But
touching
anyway.
it, you realize Roger's face is right next to yours. He's like, curious one, aren't you?
She kind of gets spooked, and unfortunately, by instincts of just being scared and creeped up on like that, she draws out both of her daggers.
He doesn't get spooked by you doing that.
And-
She's just
and
kind of
jumps
like,
backwards.
okay. He's just kind of like, not very trusting, are you?
He will hear a very low faint. Unintentionally, she will very low, like have a very soft but deep growl.
Okay. Yeah, growl makes sense.
I don't know if that's the right.
No, that one. I think a growl would suffice, like, for explanation. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know if that's the right word. No, because I actually almost tried to do it myself, but I'm like, I couldn't think of the right pitch that I would want to do at this time. But she would do a low growl and kind of shake her head and put her daggers back away again and be like, I'm sorry.
It's quite all right. And he goes, "Hey Frank, what does the rune say again? I always forget." And he's like, "Huh? What? Oh, on the axe. I believe it says Cosmic Sun." Also, it's Cosmic Sun as an S-U-N, not S-O-N.
Well, yeah, I figured.
Okay.
But anyway, I appreciate the clarification. Anywho, so Raixora will remember the other runes that Raj had on his scimitar, and she'll point at his scimitar and be like, "Can you take that out?"
You are talking about my sword, right?
Yeah.
Because he can only loosely see you pointing, so he's like, "What?"
Yeah, she's pointing towards the sword.
He kind of like, he's a little like, "Why?"
Just gimme, really quick. I'll give it back, I promise.
Gimme never gets, but he takes it out, and he doesn't give it to you, but he is letting you look at it. And you notice that the
She'll
runes...
kind of like grip his wrist. She'll grip his wrist and then kind of put up the sword towards the moon and kind of like move it around to see if it does the same thing.
So first of all, it doesn't do the same thing. The runes are there whether they're in the moonlight or not, for his.
Mm-hmm.
So, and also his runes are gold, whereas the ones on the axe were blue.
I know.
Okay.
This is me being in character.
Okay, just making sure it's clear. But yeah, his runes were there whether they're in the moonlight or not, so they stay there no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like...
And then she'll touch the runes as well to see if they're warm at all.
They're not.
And she'll be like, what does this mean?
He looks at it and he's like, I don't know. I've never had it translated.
What language is it?
I think it's Elvish, but I don't know for sure.
She looks over at the Dragonborn again, remembering the fact that he was able to read his runes that were Elvic, and she'll kind of lead Raj towards the Dragonborn, whether if he wants to or not. Like, her grip is pretty tight.
He's like, you are very insistent, ain't you?
And she'll be like, "Can you translate this?"
He just looks at it and he the way he looks at it is almost a little like kind of like, oh shit, like somber almost even. He says, "No, I can't. Sorry."
Can she tell that he's lying?
100%. You don't even need to roll for that.
I was gonna be like,
He's not very good at hiding that.
she understands and doesn't do anything else. She knows what it's like to be pressured about something, and she doesn't say anything and lets go his wrist.
He notices that, and he's just kind of like, huh, strange, and he puts the sword back away.
And now, out of pure curiosity, Raixora will take out that new shiny dagger that was given to her by them and hold it up to the moon as well.
Nothing happens.
Says, well, that's boring. And then she'll put it back on.
Well, that's boring. So at this point, they're all kind of like setting up tents and stuff to get ready to go to sleep and whatnot. And Raj is setting up a hammock instead of like an actual tent. So I'll say he's actually sitting there across from the rest of them.
Okay. Raixora. That's a house. Well, actually, go to. That's a different camp. She'll stay at this tree.
Okay.
And she will just sit down on the ground and lean against it and just stare up at the stars.
All right. So, are you actually going to go to sleep?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you start to fall asleep, and as you're falling asleep, in your like half sleeping state, you actually notice that Raj he actually has the sword out, like he's looking at it.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't seem to be doing anything. He's just kind of, really sitting there with it, like almost like it's like, really like you can tell it's valuable to him, but you don't really know why.
Gotcha.
And
so
he falls asleep.
She kind of just watches and whatnot. And she would initially bug somebody about it, but she won't because she's exhausted as well after the day being so long.
Mm-hmm.
And she will close her eyes and rest.
Okay. So at this point, you all really go to bed and whatnot. And at this point, we're going to do a time skip of about a month. So during that period, this group of merchants has pretty much stayed posted up at Split Pass, and they've all kind of meandered off into other like neighboring towns and whatnot. They come and go, and they barter in and out, and they've basically been using this place as like a home base, more or less. During this time, you've gotten to know them a little bit better. The main things you would know is that Raveleth, while he does come across as a bumbling idiot, is actually pretty good at being a merchant. You discover that the Dragonborn, he is basically their security, more or less, their muscle. And that's why he's got that. And one thing you found out while going along with him during this point is that axe, whenever its power is activated, it doesn't have to be in the moonlight for those runes to glow. You found this out. But they glow automatically within the moonlight. But when he's using its power, they also glow. And what it does is it creates a slicing wave of fire.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. That's why it's called Cosmic Sun.
So I'm going to tell you right now, the first time she would actually see that happen, she would be really giddy.
As far as you can tell, he's the only one that has something like this. So the rest of the weapons that everyone else has seems to be like rudimentary. They're basic for the most part. Other than that, the only one that stands out is Raj's scimitar, but even then, you haven't seen it do anything crazy. It's still just a sword.
Yeah.
And so, now this is where I have to ask you, would you have shown him your den by this point?
Probably.
Okay.
Because I would, if I am hanging around these people enough,
Mm-hmm.
I think I would at this point.
Okay. Also, you met an elf named Elithium. Everyone just calls him Il.
Okay.
Other than that, those are the main ones that you would like primarily be interacting with. So, Frank, Raveleth, Elithium or Il, and Raj.
How do you spell Brylith?
Bry.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Leth.
Il is the elf,
Yep.
and then you're.
Also, he's kind of like a scholar. He's very book-centric.
Who, Il?
Yeah.
Okay. Scholar. Okay. Cool.
Let me see. Okay, so at this point, we'll say you came over here today, which has been a month now, trying to find Rogier, but I'm gonna throw him off the map because he's not there right now.
Doink!
So you come. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna change the music. It's been this for a little bit. Okay. Also, let me put that on there. That's your sheet? Okay. Alright. So you show back up to everyone kind of like... It looks like they're packing up and stuff, like they're getting ready to move the whole caravan. And you show up, and this is when you talk to Bryleth. He says, well, looks like we're going to be leaving here soon. Any interest in joining us?
Where's Raj?
They're looking around. Honestly, we thought he was with you. But he runs off all the time, so I expect to see him coming back anytime now.
She kind of gets puzzled by this a little bit. Because, like, I would imagine him and I, at this point, we were kind of like our own little team in a way.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
So this is definitely unusual.
Yeah, I'd be like, well, he used to, but... She kind of bites her lip, kind of narrowing her eyebrows, furrowing her eyebrows a little bit. And, she'll very hesitantly nod her head for now, but, like, she won't leave the city until, like, he's there, if that makes sense. Like, she'll follow them up until right before they're about to leave.
Right. They're looking around, they're still packing up. They're not leaving right this second, they're just getting ready to. And that's when Frank comes around. He's like, you could go look in the woods for him. He could be hunting or something. He does do that.
You know, you could be right. Yeah. Let me go take a look really quick.
Okay.
And I will scurry off to the woods.
All right. For the sake of immersion. Hey, you're not supposed to be there.
Yoink!
Yoink!
And then
we're gonna say this. We'll say this way.
Okay.
So, for the sake of immersion, this is not the same exact area you fought the wolves in. TM.
What? This is so new.
I know,
Wow.
it's crazy. But you do find traces of blood from what appears to be a wounded animal. And it is trailing like it ran off into the woods like it was hit by something, so it's safe to assume that he maybe did hit it with a sword or something.
Okay. So I will follow said trail of blood. I have no idea where I'm going.
The trail of blood weirdly follows that trail of dirt. It, almost like that's the blood instead of the dirt.
Okay. So that was great. I am going to follow the trail, like keeping my eyes out, constantly looking around. Of course, because I'm back in the forest again. I know these forests, and I know they're not usually the most friendly place ever.
Yeah.
And yeah. So do I notice anything running around or anything like that?
It seems otherwise pretty quiet, but once you get to that fallen tree near the end of the path, you actually notice a larger splatter of blood very close to it. And you see that splatter and drag marks that go to the left into the forest.
To the left.
Yeah, so same direction that tree is falling from.
Okay. I'd be like, what the heck? Like, this is... do I recognize that this is not, like, a normal...
Yeah, it seems like something straight up... Or can I
investigate the blood or the tracks or whatever?
Oh, give me a survival check.
Survival!
This little...
Bitch!
This little slide pad on my mouse just came off. Okay. Alright, so... You can't tell exactly what happened.
Did I roll again?
No.
Damn.
You can't tell exactly what happened, but it looks like the way that this blood is laid out, it's like something got smashed.
Mm-hmm.
It looks almost like a scorch mark, but of blood. So something was standing there and got, like, hit by something.
Okay. I am going to cautiously go forward.
Alright, at this point there's no map, so just, immersion.
It's fine.
Shit. Alright. So you start progressing forward through the woods, and you are following what was a drag trail of blood that is getting slimmer and slimmer as it goes along.
Yeah.
And for the amount of blood, this must have been like a fucking moose or something big.
It was Nero.
we found Nero. He's right there. He got squished by something. Alright, so you follow this trail of blood, and it goes into a cave. You have never actually been in this cave. You've been near it before, and you've heard growling and rustling. I was
gonna say, is this my cave or no?
No, this is not your cave. You have heard growling and rustling and things of that nature in this cave before, so you've always stayed out of it thinking it was like a bear cave or something.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I will... Is the trail going to the cave?
It goes straight into it.
She kind of, like... She gets out 2 of her daggers, and one of them being the ornate.
Mm-hmm.
And she gets guarded, but cautiously, and also looking around everywhere.
Okay.
Seeing what is going on inside of the cave.
So, upon entering the cave, it's pretty dark in there. So you can't see much too well, but it's bright enough for you to at least make out where you're stepping. And as you're stepping through, you notice that it stinks like a motherfucker in there. Whatever lives in here has definitely dragged lots of animals or other things in here because it smells of death.
Yep. It's not a lovely smell.
No, it ain't.
She's just looking around. And, in her head, she's like, this might be a idea. But very softly, she goes, Raj?
You don't hear any response, but you do hear the sound of something moving a little further in. It's subtle, but you hear it kind of rustling against the stone of the cave.
Against the stone?
Yeah, as if it like kind of like dragged its hand across or something of that nature.
Raixora will be silent and just freeze. Waiting for something else to happen.
Give me a stealth check. Interesting.
That was going to be a 16. That was going to be a 16. That's horrible.
So, as you stop, you stop at what was like a turn in the cave. So you are now at the corner piece, and as you kind of like crouch down and stop moving, you see a hand come around the corner and put its fingers are right by you. This hand is very, very large, as in bigger than your head.
I don't move.
You see something peer around the corner, and you realize you walked into the den of a cyclops. It doesn't see you. It looks towards the outside, but the light coming in from the cave makes you know what I mean. The effect of looking outside into a light from a dark cave.
Yeah.
Yeah. It can't see shit.
It's like almost blinding.
It's like, nah. It kind of goes back in. And when it does that, you can see on the other side of it that it is dragging a very large bear. And that must be the blood that was coming in from there. And the bear did look pulverized.
Gathered.
Yeah.
She's just, and her heart is pounding right now, but in her head she's also being like, shit, like this is not good. Like she needs to be as quiet and as stealthy as possible right now to get out if she wants to make it out alive.
Mm-hmm.
And she will very slowly roll. This is how we call rolling through the ball of our foot. So this is
yeah.
So you very closely with your toes first, not your heel, because your heel makes more sound waves than shock wave.
Roll me.
How I know this because I've done it. 15.
Okay. So you managed to back your way out of the cave enough to the point where any noise you make at this point likely wouldn't be heard by it, because it went back into the cave further.
Uh-huh. Yay.
And so
I didn't die.
You did not die, no. And also on the way there, you didn't see any signs of Raixora going that way. There was no human-sized footprints. There wasn't anything that signaled that he went that way. As far as you can tell, that was the only tracks there was from the bear and the cyclops.
Okay. So I will move further away from Sid Cave. And I'm actually going to yell his, because I'm kind of slowly starting to panic. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I will yell for his name.
At this point, you're getting no response, by the way. And at this point, Frank actually shows up because he's been looking for him too. And he comes from the same direction you came from, and he's like, "Have you found him?"
And my hand is shaking a little bit since I just got out of that cave. Like, my nerves are a little on edge. And I will be like, no, I haven't seen him at all. There, don't go behind me. Don't go in that cave. Don't go in that cave.
Why? What's in the cave?
There's a cyclops with a bear.
Cyclops with a bear. It looks like the blood is that the bear's blood?
Uh,
You're certain?
I saw it myself. Just be happy I'm still alive and I'm out here, brother. Okay?
Right. Yeah, wait here. He grabs his axe and starts walking towards the cave.
No. No, she will grab his arm. Like, she is terrified of losing somebody right now. Because she's finally starting to get close-ish towards a group of people. And she's never had that before. And she's basically begging him. And he can feel her hand trembling and stuff. Being like, please, please. I am begging you. I barely got out of there without him noticing me.
He speaks to you a little more softly than usual. Normally he's kind of like gruff and, no nonsense. He's like, do not worry about me. I need to make sure Raj isn't in that cave. A Cyclops will not hurt me.
She can tell that there's nothing that she's going to say that's going to convince him otherwise. So she very much so lets go. And she's like, I'm not letting you go in there alone.
Okay. He's like, wait at the entrance of the cave. Do not come in with me.
She grits her teeth. And doesn't say anything, but it's her way of, like, nervously saying, okay, fine, whatever.
Gotcha. So,
yeah.
You go back to the cave with Frank, and he just kind of like, he grabs his axe, and he has it in a ready stance. He doesn't go in yet, but he's looking in, and at this point you see his eyes glow a little bit when he steps into the dark. They're not glowing, but like cat's eyes almost.
Yeah.
So when he steps into the
it's
dark,
a soft glow.
Yeah, he steps into the dark, and you realize he can see in the dark. He's got dark vision, which is not normal for a Dragonborn. That's not.
Isn't?
It's not an inherent thing they have, no.
Oh.
So he walks in.
That kind of surprises me.
You would, I know, right? Yeah, no, they don't. I actually looked it up to make sure at one point because I gave it to him. I'm like, do they have this already? But no, he doesn't.
Oh no, I believe you. I believe you. That's just still surprises me.
But yeah, so he walks in, and you see his eyes kind of glint like that. And at this point, you hear the stomping of the Cyclops. It's not like aggressive, it's just moving around in the cave. And then he ignites the crescent of his axe. And before you know it, the Cyclops comes around the corner, and he cuts its head straight off.
Oh.
Just what looked like no effort.
She doesn't really know what. She's just kind of standing there watching.
Oh shit! Okay.
Yeah.
And he's just like.
She has a realization of how outclassed she is comparatively in combat.
Right. Yeah. So he goes further into the cave and searches through it, and he comes back towards the entrance, and he's now in front of the Cyclops' body. He's like, so no, he's not in there, but I do need to make sure. So he turns around and cleaves the Cyclops' stomach open. And all of its innards fall out.
Razor will watch.
Yeah, all of its innards fall out. And
Razor will watch. He's used to it.
Yeah, he's sifting through, and he's like, the only thing in here is bear. Okay, so we're good.
And she's still worried.
Yeah,
like her heart is still in her stomach.
It's like, I followed the trail of blood, and before it was a smaller trail. I'm guessing Raj was probably hunting this bear, and he nicked it, and then next thing he knows, There's a Cyclops hunting the bear too, so he probably ran. He wouldn't be stupid enough to fight a Cyclops.
Returned by now.
That's what worries me. I don't know
No.
where he would have gone. What about your den? Do you think he would have went there?
Maybe. And, it's up to you if you want to come or not, but I'm gonna head there.
Alright, I'll let you go there by yourself. I'll double check and double back to Split Pass, see if he maybe headed back.
Okay.
After you check your den, come back to Split Pass just in case he is there, and we'll regroup and see what to do from there.
Oh, absolutely. And, Raixora will nod and hold up her hand and almost high-five him, kind of like trying to hype herself back up again kind of deal.
He's just like confused.
It's her getting her nerves off.
He like goes.
And
he like
she will.
He doesn't really understand it. He's just kind of like.
Gotta love being a teenager.
Yep.
But she will then full sprint. Like, Frank hasn't seen her run this fast before.
Right. You did mention she was fast. So he heads back towards Split Pass as you go to your den. So you make your way to your den, and your den is empty. He's not there. There doesn't even seem to be any trace of him having been there today.
This happened.
Oh, I think I have to burp. Yep, there it is.
Nasty!
Sorry. Anyway.
But, Raixora is starting to panic. Even more. And, she's like, God, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? It's not in the bear tent. He's not inside the Cyclops' stomach, thank God. He's not here. Then I guess I need to. She gets frustrated and she tries to calm herself down, trying to remind herself that Frank said that she needs to go back to, what is it, Split
Pass.
Yeah, Split Pass. And regroup over there.
Okay, so you make your way back to Split Pass Village, which takes about an hour.
Mm-hmm.
And at this point, you've been searching for him for about 8 hours total, give or take.
Mm-hmm.
And you get back to Split Pass, and there's a lot of arguing going on because they can't find him. And this is unusual because he's run off plenty of times before, but he's always made himself known to some degree. Like, for example, when he ran off the first time you met him, he made himself known to you and made quite a mess with the wolves and all that. So,
yeah.
Even when he runs off, he has a tendency to be noisy, so this is unusual.
Mm-hmm.
And also, them arguing over this is unusual. And at this point, when you get back, Raveleth is really mad, and he actually points at you and he's like, what if she took him?
Huh?
And at this point, Frank's the one arguing with him at this point. And he's like, what are you talking about? And Raveleth is getting like paranoid. He's like, what if she's been tricking us to kidnap him?
Raveleth. Like, she's starting to feel betrayed. Already.
And that's when Frank is like, why would she want to kidnap him? And Raveleth is like, oh, you don't know. Of course you or he was more like, rather, don't act like you don't know. That's stupid.
What's going on?
At this point, Frank gets up in his face, and Raveleth runs off in like a stupid pit of rage, basically, like a little kid.
She looks over at Frank and is just like, Frank, What does he mean?
We're supposed to be looking out for that kid. Every time something like this happens, Raveleth goes on a rampage and tries to blame anyone he can because he thinks everyone's out to get him. Most people don't even know, though. And then he looks at you and he's like,
Wires.
oh, I don't think you know either.
No way.
And he seems a little hesitant. He's like, look, I'm going to tell you something, and it might surprise you, but this is also why Raveleth is freaking out. Roger is a prince.
Everything's starting to click together with the scimitar and everything for Raixora, because that is not a typical piece of equipment that you see every day, and let alone its golden gilded runes in there.
Those runes on the blade say Prince Roger. And we've been making our way to Cathardus because he is meant to meet King Gasker's daughter. He is supposed to be the heir. He's supposed to be the heir to the throne of Cathardus.
Her heart sinks a little bit, and so it's a diplomatic.
That's just the thing. We were supposed to be there a month ago, but the choice laid
A month ago.
The choice to stay laid on Roger's hands. He didn't want to leave. He didn't want to go to Cathardus, and we have no reason. We don't have the power to force him to do so. However, him being a prince, we still are charged with his protection. We are not just merchants, we are also his convoy and his protection. We are just traveling under the guise of that.
I see. And then a month ago, you all met myself, and that's why Raveleth is now pointing fingers at me.
Pretty much. If we can't find Roger anytime soon, I know for a fact we will be leaving, because the only assumption left for us to make if we can't find his body is that he went to Cathardus. His reason for going we wouldn't be sure, but that's the only place he would have to go.
Why do I feel like this is my fault?
It is not your fault. However, I have to ask something very unfortunate of you. Or rather, I have to do something I don't want to do. We are about to leave, one way or another, and I cannot let you come with us. I'm sorry. If it were up to me, I would let you, but Raveleth, it's up to him.
It's fine. Her jaw kind of clenches a little bit. And she half expected it after that fact, but she was really hoping, really, really, really praying inside that it wasn't the case. And her heart is slowly breaking.
Frank can see that's like happening within you right now, just based on your face and your expressions and whatnot. And
oh yeah.
I know what I have to do, and I'm sorry that I have to do it. It's just... I have a job to do, and without his whereabouts being known, and I would encourage you to still look for him. And if you can find him, obviously send him to us, and what we do from there is up to him.
Say no more.
But if you don't find him soon, we can only assume the worst.
Don't worry. I know how to run.
I'm very sorry. I hope we can meet again in the future on better terms.
And hopefully not as enemies.
I agree.
And on that note, before anything else, Raixora's lip will start to quiver and tears fill her eyes as she darts into the woods.
So you run into the woods, crying, as it were. And at this point, for the next 15 years, you have been alone. You took some time to search for Raixora, but you never found him. And you never even heard of anything about him. You never went to Cathardus to see if he went there because you were scared to confront that. And during that time, during your efforts to search for him, is when you resorted to using blood magic as a means of searching, but it didn't work. You didn't find any traces of him. However, you are now bound by that blood magic, so it is with you whether you want it to be or not. So, at this point, you also have left Split Pass Woods, and because you felt that you were no longer welcome there, you felt people would come after you because Raveleth definitely spread rumors that you kidnapped the prince.
Yeah.
No matter what other people had said, he definitely did that. So you made your way towards the marshes near the central area of the Crescent Lands, and you've made a new den there, and you've been holed up there. And at this point, today, you decided to go to the docks of, shit, what's the fucking name of it?
The struggle is real, trying to remember where
there's two ports on that side. Okay, Port Hawthorne. Because there's Travelheim Port and Port Hawthorne. So I was like, well, shit, which one is it? So you went to Port Hawthorne. Yeah. You went to Port Hawthorne to get supplies to take back to your place. And while you were there were some bandits attacking people. One of them turned into a dragon. It was really weird. No, okay.
Weird.
But yeah, no.
Hi, Dad.
Hi, Dad. So, you came to the docks, and you killed the bandits here.
Yes. I'm purple here. Right.
Oh, yeah, you're purple here. That's weird. Good God.
Weird.
Crazy. So, you have just killed these bandits at this point in time. And the people that were being threatened are coming out of the buildings, and they're saying that you took care of business, and while violent, necessary. And these people, they understand what's going on. They understand that was necessary. You're not getting any weird looks or any, negativity. If anything, they're actually thanking you for helping them.
Raixora, now that she's older, she is still very much guarded, more stiff, more blunt. But at the same time, she is compassionate for people who are in trouble. She gets a sense of a feeling where she sees people like that and whatnot. She's trying to make up for the fact of Raj helping her. in that time of need. So she figured it's time for her to do justice while she looks for him as well.
All right. And with all the time that has passed, any rumors of you and what happened with him are now too old for people to remember or care. So whatever's happened to him and whatever's happened since then, people don't remember. Even in Split Pass Village, people who have still been there, it's been so long that while they may remember you if you were to go back and introduce yourself, they wouldn't care about the rumors spread or anything like that. They wouldn't even remember that stuff really fully. And so, after killing the bandits and whatnot, the market that you come here and shop at, the owner comes out, and because we'll say you've come here several times because this is where you typically get supplies, since it's close to where you live. And the owner comes out and he gives you some food, and he says, "Please take this for helping us."
Raixora will have a kind smile at him and say, "Thank you.
Of course.
It's been a long journey, so I appreciate it. Is there anything else here that I can do?"
At the moment, I think we're pretty set. We've got everything taken care of, and at this point, what little there is the town guards come and start taking the bodies and like trying to get them out of the street, so there's not all, corpses just laying around. But yeah, they're taking them out and taking care of it, and like he's like, at this point, we just appreciate that you were there to help. I'm not sure the guards would have been able to handle that. They're there, but they're not combat savvy.
The most helpful.
Yeah, they try, kind of.
That's quite alright. We all have our strengths and we all have our weaknesses.
For sure. If you need anything else besides the food, let us know. I may not be able to give it to you for free necessarily, but maybe a discount or something.
I'd appreciate that.
Good.
So if she, so you said, let's say if she were to ask about Raj in this area, would something spark anything about her or no?
I don't know, maybe you should ask.
Like, would people start
I don't know, maybe you should ask somebody.
And she will take out a sketchbook that she has, and she drew this beautiful portrait of Raj.
Okay.
And she says, "Have you seen this person?"
He looks at it and he's like, I couldn't say for sure. I've seen some people that look similar, but I wouldn't necessarily say if I've seen, I've seen kids and adults with same build, same kind of clothing, so I wouldn't really be able to say for sure if I've seen this person specifically. What was his name?
Raj.
I'm sorry, it doesn't ring a bell.
She closes the book and puts it back in her pouch, and she says, "That's understandable. I mean, it's probably 1 in a billion chance that... 1 in a billion chance." She's just kind of she's starting to disassociate a little bit, but realizes it and then gets back to herself again. Be like, "Anyway, do you have a place to stay?"
Yes, we have a small
inn. An inn.
Yeah, we have a small inn over there. We also have a diner across from it, so they make fresh-ish food there. Mostly seafood, since we're right by the ocean, as it were.
Raixora kind of points towards her horns and her little pointy teeth that she has in her mouth, and she's just like, "Don't worry, I'm not picky."
Very well. And as you're kind of talking with the owner, you notice a cart near the exit is getting ready to leave, and then the guy riding it says, taxi to Cathardus, if anyone is coming.
Haven't heard that in a while. Raixora kind of puts behind her feelings that she had beforehand, and she will raise her arm and rush towards the taxi towards Catherine.
All right, the guy stops and says, "You need a ride on your way there?" All right. The toll is 5 gold.
She ends in 5.
Okay. So you give him 5 gold. Oh, I'd say at this point you had like 50 plus gold easily within that time span you've been saving. So you have the money for it.
Gotcha.
Okay. So you hand him the gold, and before you step onto the wagon, you feel a gust of wind that almost feels like it's pulling instead of pushing. And this gust of wind, the feel of like pull, is headed south towards the mountains of Travaheim. Here, let me do this real quick. That's the wrong map. So you're in Port Hawthorne. The direction of the wind feels like it's pulling south. Okay, for you it'd be southwest. And this is, it's sudden and it's aggressive. And when you look towards Travaheim, now granted,
I look towards that way, I'm just like...
In terms of scale, obviously it's bigger than it would appear on maps. So, but you can see, even from that far away, the clouds above the mountains are swirling. They're not forming a tornado, but they are swirling.
I look at it and I'm like, shit.
And the guy driving the wagon looks over and he's like, "Do you see that?"
Uh-huh.
And they start to swirl more violently.
Do you mind making a detour?
And he's like, "Hold on, what's happening?" And as it starts to swirl, you see lightning shooting through the clouds, but this lightning is red. And before you're even able to comprehend what is going on, a giant red beam shoots from the mountain into the sky, and you see cascading lights shooting all the way back over you, past you, through the clouds. It feels like you just see a bunch of shooting stars going through space, and they're lightning red.
Yeah.
You do not know what is going on, but you feel like the very nature of the world just changed. And that is where we will end our session.
Nice.
Yes. So how do you feel?
I feel good. You did good.
Thank you.
I can tell you're a little anxious.
Yeah, I'm just kind of rusty.
But you did good.
I'm very rusty, that's why.
That's okay.
Then I also really just want to make sure I had all my shit together. Alright.
Fair.
I'll end the recording there then.